I got some wonderful news, man, to share with you guys. So Manny Pacquiao's son, Jimuel Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao's son is set to fight his second pro fight. But guess what? It's against none other than Floyd Money Mayweather's protege. I want to get to that in just a second, guys. But this is big news because not only is Manny Pacquiao's son going to be fighting Floyd Money Mayweather's protege, but at the same time, this is all going to go down on Manny Pacquiao's card, the one that he's promoting. Like, and guess what? When you got Manny Pacquiao running the show, his promotion. You got Floyd Mayweather's protege going to be taking on Pacquiao Jr. What if there's a chance that Floyd Money Mayweather and Pacquiao run it back on the same card? Can you imagine, guys? This would be a first. A first. I've never. I mean, look, we've had Chris Eubank Jr., Connor Ben fight one another. Their fathers who had, the families had long history with one another. Their fathers fought decades earlier in the 90s. And, so with the fathers present while their sons are fighting, that was a big deal. Right? I mean, Devin Haney, accompanied by his father, Bill Haney Sr. That's incredible. Anytime you got former legends and then their, sons or daughters are fighting, that's unbelievable, right? I remember when Muhammad Ali was ringside at one of the events that his daughter, Layla Ali, was participating in. I mean, what? Like, can you imagine? Like, the closeness of all that? But never have, not that I can remember, father-son fighting on the same card. Can you imagine? Just take that in for a second. Manny Pacquiao is running this promotion, okay, in New York that features his son fighting on that card against Pacquiao's former opponent, Floyd Mayweather's protege. And just what if Floyd Money Mayweather and Pacquiao are like, look, guys, let's do this. Let's do this for the fans. Let's do this between each other. We want to do this. We want part two. Let's do it. Let's do it on the same card. Can you imagine how crazy that would be? But those talks are still happening. I mean, I will get into that here in just a second because we also have Floyd Mayweather. Also linked to taking on Mike Tyson as well in an exhibition bout. So this is all really, really interesting stuff, guys. But let me just kind of set the scene a little bit. And actually, before I do, welcome back, guys. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. And guys, if you guys are new here for the first time, please smash the like and subscribe. It definitely helps with the algorithm. Helps us out overall. If you get a chance, please like and share. And if you can, comment on the videos because I read your comments. I respond to your comments. I love reading them. In fact, I get inspired by a lot of the stuff that you talk about, which sometimes I create videos on. So that said, let's get into this. Let's understand why and what is going on here and why this could actually be big news. Because when I think about Manny Pacquiao, like we all know that he's kind of got into the promotion business now, similar to like Oscar De La Hoya with Golden Boy. But with Manny Pacquiao entering the scene, there's a lot of things that he probably wasn't privy to as a fighter, but now as an owner, as a promoter, manager, so to speak, and running a business, it's a whole different animal altogether, right? So, I mean, from his side, there's going to be a lot of pressure. There's going to be a lot of things that he's going to have to kind of keep up with, so to speak. But that said, there's when it comes to today's boxing environment with social media, with how quick we're able to news is disseminated to us, from media outlets, from the platforms that we're on with our social media and our emails, and I mean with the news, and I mean it's a changing world. It's a changing world, and it's so quick. People can get lost in it. I mean, I create videos on a daily basis. Sometimes I pump out videos, and next thing you know, I've already got another one just right around the corner. So I mean, it just never stops. And when you think of all that, that's a lot of noise, and that noise kind of equates to pressure, right? And so when you have pressure, this is where sometimes some of the best fighters, best physically gifted fighters, succumb under pressure because they just mentally can't handle it, right? So there's legacy involved when it comes to Pacquiao's name, and especially Mayweather's name. Mayweather's been mentoring this young fighter that I'm going to get to. He's been putting a lot of time and effort into this fighter, but his protege is kind of helping carry some of that weight. He's, like Mayweather is kind of associated with his protege. So if his protege doesn't do good, that's a reflection almost kind of on the name, on the Mayweather name. And similarly, you have Manny Pacquiao Sr., who's a legend, probably one of the biggest sports global icons, Hall of Famer. I mean, he's won accolades upon accolades. I can go on and on and on about Pacquiao, and maybe I will here, but he has so much, like when it comes to legacy, when it comes to everything that somebody wants to achieve in the sport of boxing, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Money Mayweather, they've done it. They've done it. And where it gets challenging is that these guys, they don't have to worry anymore about legacy finishes, about establishing their name, because they've already proven themselves. In fact, two of the greatest fighters of all time, right? They've done it. But for Manny Pacquiao Sr., where it gets a little interesting, his son, Jimuel Pacquiao, there's a little bit of a challenge there, because if he doesn't live up to Manny Pacquiao Sr., there's going to be a lot of people questioning whether or not boxing is for him, because you have to understand, and I think it's a little unfair, but people are going to hold Manny Pacquiao Jr. to the same, maybe not to the same level as his father, but at least to a very high level. There's going to be a lot of expectations on this young fighter. There's going to be a lot of pressure, and there's going to be a lot of noise that's going to surround him, because wherever he goes, people are going to want to know and feel confident knowing that he's an elite fighter. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, because, I mean, every time you have Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Money Mayweather's name together, even remotely connected, boxing social media goes absolutely frantic. It goes insane. There's been rumors of these guys potentially locking up horns again and fighting, and that's why, how interesting would it be if these guys were to fight on the same card? It would actually be probably one of the biggest fights ever. But that said, we're here to talk about Manny Pacquiao Sr.'s son. And so when I talked about Jimuel Pacquiao being this is his second fight, well, it's already booked for February 28th. Okay? And he fought once before, obviously. He fought back in November. And look, I mean, if you guys missed it, no worries. It wasn't really a fairy tale start or beginning to Manny Pacquiao Jr.'s career. He fought to a draw. And some people are even questioning whether or not that should have been a draw. It was a 4-round lightweight bout, and his opponent, Jimuel Pacquiao's first opponent, was not this hype fighter. It was an English teacher. Now, before you knock on teachers, a teacher, what can a teacher do? Well, he was a former collegiate boxing champion, okay? And just remember, Justin Trudeau former Prime Minister of Canada, he was an English teacher as well too, and he also had a boxing showdown exhibition match against the former MP, and he actually came out victorious in that. But that's a different story altogether. But guys, like, I mean, after that first fight, Manny Pacquiao Sr. had a heart-to-heart with the son, and he said, "Son, if you want to continue fighting, if you want to be a boxer, there's conditions." And that alone tells you a lot, guys. When the father is speaking to the son, who happens to be carrying his name, and understanding the relentless noise and pressure that's following his son everywhere he goes, just because he carries the Pacquiao name, that weighs on Manny Pacquiao Sr. a lot. And this is why he's imposed certain kinds of conditions on his son, because if his son can't fight at an elite level, then maybe he needs to rethink his career. Right? This isn't guys, this isn't just about clout. This is about earning it. Okay? This is about earning it. And nobody in the business has done it better than Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. All right? These guys are living, walking legends that have fought many battles and are at the top of their class. And so anyone who's remotely even associated with their names, they've got a lot of expectations and big shoes to fill, guys. And it's a cruel world, because you and I could be like, well, give him a chance, and don't be so hard on the guy, he's giving it his best. A lot of other people aren't like that. The boxing world, social media, fans, they can be cruel. Okay? So, this is why a lot of physically gifted fighters who are so blessed with their unique boxing IQ and skill fail to be good boxers. So you're probably wondering why. If a guy was so good, or if a fighter was so good and they were so unbelievably dominant in the ring, why is it that they can't? Why is it that they weren't good fighters? Sorry, is what I was trying to say. Well, because they didn't have the mental acuity to be able to help them persevere through those matches. See, boxing is not all about your physical prowess and your skill sets and your ability to be able to land good clean combos and jabs and your footwork and movement. A lot of that is huge. It's absolutely important. I'm not taking anything away from it. But if you don't have the mental aptitude to be able to understand strategy and to bring in boxing IQ into your boxing skill sets and intertwine those two, you're going to have a very, very difficult time trying to fight. All right? Just because you lift more repetitions in the gym with weights than the next guy, just because you're on the skipping rope a little bit longer than the other guy, just because you've got great hand speed and footwork and movement, that doesn't make you necessarily a great fighter. You got to have the mental ability as well. And this is why a lot of really good fighters are failing or retiring early. So Manny Pacquiao Sr. is a little bit concerned for his son, because there's a lot of pressure on him right now, more than the average fighter, just because he carries the Pacquiao name. So that's got to be weighing on Manny Pacquiao. So let's talk about this card that Manny Pacquiao is promoting, guys, because it's going to be it's a Turning Stone in New York, and this is Manny Pacquiao Sr.'s promotion, and the card is going to headline Elijah Pierce versus Lorenzo Parra. But the real attention, again, is going to be shifted to Jimuel Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao Jr., and another name, as I mentioned, the protege of Floyd Money Mayweather, none other than Curmel Moton. So let's bring Curmel into the game. Let's bring him onto the stage. Now, Curmel's he's a rising star. Okay, he's doing all the right things. All right, he's 8-0 right now. In his 8-0, sorry, and he's only 19 years old. happens to be the protege of one of the greatest fighters of all time. Okay? And it just let that sink in for a second. And now let's talk about his amateur record. All right? Moton is a legit fighter, guys. He's got 156-7 amateur record. 156-7. Guys, he's earned his stripes. He's paid his dues. He went through the bottoms, dug pits. He did everything that he had to, but he's doing all the right things. Okay? Now, they say history sometimes necessarily doesn't always repeat itself, but history often rhymes, and it's got a lot of rhyming connotation associated with this. So, yeah, Moton is a legit fighter, guys. 156-7 amateur record, 8-0 right now, and he's only 19 years old. Like, he's what people would refer to as an elite boxing pedigree fighter. Okay, he's definitely, he's definitely going to. His name is in a lot of conversations right now. But let's not ignore the fact what happened to him recently, where he was cooked badly online by a lot of critics because he missed weight by 14 pounds. That was ugly. Nobody misses that much weight. Like, okay, if you miss weight by a pound, couple pounds, few pounds, shit happens. What do you do, man? It's the whole a lot of people don't even understand what fighters need to do to be able to cut weight or increase weight if they're moving up a weight class or what have you, just so they can meet the conditions necessary for them to fight. The amount of stress, the amount of burden, like the amount of stress is the best word that I can find that you're putting on your body. It's not healthy. Now, but when you miss weight by 14 pounds, like, whoa, like, did McDonald's have a sale? Like, did you did Doritos launch a new flavor that was too good to pass up? You couldn't help yourself. Like, whoa, how do you miss it by that much? That's just not right. But talent-wise, guys, Curmel brings a lot to the table, man. And the bar is already being raised. And the fact that he's, Mayweather's protege, I mean, this is going to be a challenge for Jimuel. Okay? If he's trying to be Manny Pacquiao 2.0, it's never going to happen. It's going to be impossible. All right? But a lot of people associated with their legendary parents, grandparents, look at Nico Ali Walsh. What an amazing, talented fighter. I love this guy. The grandson of Muhammad Ali, the legendary Muhammad Ali. Like, wow. There's so many good fighters out there that, like Hasim Rahman Jr., and his father, Hasim Rahman. Like, I remember in my room, the little TV that I had, and watching the pay-per-view fight between him and Lennox Lewis. And Hasim Rahman knocks out Lennox Lewis to win the world title, guys. Absolutely unbelievable. Right? He made not only Baltimore proud, but he made the United States proud. He made the whole world proud. Those, and again, right? These are the sons and the people who are up and coming. So Jimuel's got big shoes to fill, man. Big shoes to fill. Right? Curmel Moton, I mean, he's also carrying the weight of the Mayweather machine. And so there's different pressures, guys, different spotlights. But at the end of the day, all that noise is almost the same for both of these guys. So mental aptitude is going to play a big factor in this fight. Okay? And for the boxing fans, I mean, we're going to watch every move of it. 100% we are. But to address the elephant in the room, let's talk about what everyone's really thinking. Everybody wants to know what is going on with Pacquiao and Mayweather. I mean, are they talking? Are they about to sign something? Or they're just there to line up their fighters? Like, Everybody is thinking about the same damn thing. The idea of Pacquiao versus Mayweather 2 on the same card. But, I mean, it's already headline, guys. I don't think it's going to happen on this card. But if these guys fight, I think something could happen. Guys, these guys made hundreds of millions of dollars back in like 10 years ago. 10, 11 years ago. That nostalgia alone. I think that nostalgia alone, honestly, would be bigger than Anthony Joshua Jake Paul fight, bigger than Terrence Crawford versus Canelo. I think it would be a super fight, one for the ages. And I'm not saying it's happening, but this is what boxing lives off of, right? This kind of hype, this kind of nostalgia, this kind of excitement. These are the fights, the super fights that people are dreaming of that could technically come to some kind of reality, some kind of fruition. We just got to figure it out. And Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao is a promoter. He's going to want, obviously, some cut into that. Floyd Money Mayweather, the money team, they're going to want something, associated with that. Maybe this is something that Riyadh sees in Turkey Al Sheikh, maybe he has to get involved. Maybe this is something that, Dana White, Turkey Al Sheikh, Paramount, Zuffa, Nick Khan, all these guys come together and try to make this happen, make this go, because this could be one of the biggest fights of this era if it goes down. And hundreds of millions of dollars, again, at stake, 100%. So, it could happen. But just remember, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Money Mayweather is supposed to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition fight. He's already associated or linked, reportedly, to fight Tyson. And that could happen sometime, guys, in March. Could happen in April. So there's a lot of big fights coming down the pipeline. So in the next couple months, the next few months, there's going to be some announcements coming up here right away about some serious fights that are going to be happening this spring and this summer. So get ready, guys, because this is going to be a year for the ages. And don't forget, I mean, you're a boxing fan, great, but don't forget UFC, Dana White and Donald Trump, they're trying to arrange a UFC fight night at the White House. That's going to happen in June to celebrate America's 250th birthday. It's going to be big, guys. And so any event that you have, people got to be cognizant of the fact that there's other big fights within combat sports, not necessarily boxing, but in other, like in MMA, UFC. So, these promoters are going to have a really tough time trying to figure out the calendar. Because that fight is going to bring in lots of money. Sorry, that card is going to bring in lots of money. There's going to be a lot of big names. I'm even hearing there's going to be like 6 or 7 like championship style fights happening on that. Like, absolutely insane. But that said, we're talking about boxing here. And right now, we gotta figure out Jimuel Pacquiao versus Curmel Moton. And that's coming up on the 28th of February, guys. It's going to be happening on New York. As more information becomes available, I'll be able to share the pay-per-view information and the details related to how you can watch that fight. But guys, you got legacy versus legacy, generation beef, 2 legends who never really settled things cleanly. This is why I said earlier, could be some unfinished business here, guys. But boxing loves it. Boxing loves chaos. We love chaos. And this card feels like that spark, guys. Like, to get things going into 2026. So bottom line, guys, Jimuel Pacquiao deserves time. Not pressure. But he's going to have that pressure. I hope he's trained. I hope he's learned a thing or two. He's able to implement the things that he's learned from his father. and bring that to the ring and put on a great show for all of us. Curmel Moton, young rising star, unbelievable amateur record, 156-7 amateur record, 8-0 currently. He's only 19 years old, guys. You know, like he's got a big future ahead of him. Now, weight issues aside, I think he'll be ready. So this Pacquiao Mayweather connection may not be over. I think the storylines are only going to intensify, and I think although Mayweather and Tyson are supposed to fight, whether that happens or not, you know, I still think Mayweather and Pacquiao are going to run it back one more time. So that door will never fully be closed until it is fully closed. Guys, that's all I have for you guys. I want to hear from you. Tell me what you think. How do you guys feel? Do you think this card is quietly setting up Pacquiao versus Mayweather 2? Or is it just a coincidence? Drop your take and thoughts and comments below. Smash the like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications. Ding, ding, ding. So you guys never miss a beat. And I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.